Yeah, hi. Good evening, everyone. So, welcome to the Week 4 open session, first open session, basically. Yeah. So, someone have raised the hand. Yeah, case. Who
Yes,
raised
sir.
the hand? Yeah, case one. Go ahead.
Sir, I just wanted to clarify something from week three, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I gone through the week three contents and it was like four videos and it was the introduction to C programming. Sir introduced about the variables and just shown how the program works. But when you see the graded assignments of those week three, actually
Mm-hmm.
I'm a new learner in C programming. I don't know quite a bit about C programming that much. So, but in week three graded assignments, there's like a complex questions to write the program, sir. But only introduction was given in the week three contents. So it's very difficult for us to write that PP or graded assignment. Some programs, eight programs was given, I think, and it is very new because we are not familiar with those concepts till now, and it was not even discussed in the video lectures as well.
Okay. So, are you joining the live sessions?
Yes, sir. I also join the live sessions regularly.
So we have discussed all the practice assignment where the seven practice assignments are there in the week 3. We have discussed the this basic related things of the week 3 content like operators, all these things. So we are
Yes, sir.
covering
But
this type of basic. Actually, professor will not discuss every single topic, but you have to just join. So for week 3, actually, basically, you have to join the live session also in the week 3, and also in the remaining week professor will not discuss everything, so you have to learn after watching the video. You have to join the live session also, you have to solve the practice question also, and then you have to explore something related to the question. If you are just finding anything new in the questions, just explore the things.
how do we do that, sir? If we are finding something very new which we are not familiar with,
Very fine. So in what things you are finding very new in the week 3?
like writing the full program, it the stepwise only the mathematical formula it was okay, which was discussed in the right class. But when it comes to writing a whole program, I'm finding some difficulties.
So writing whole the program in the all programming question, if you see that we are not using any that like loop and conditional statement. All questions are just input, expression, and then output based question.
So, but I think in something like quadratic equations that their loop is used. I think there was a
No, you
problem program.
you can solve that question is without any loop also.
Sir, but if discriminant is greater than zero, less than zero, and equal to zero, we need to do no, sir.
Which question you are referring?
Quadratic, finding the roots x1, x2.
Okay. So you okay? Let me check one second. Which question you are
I think
referring?
it was from the graded assignments actually. First assignment, I think.
Because of that we are
So there,
running you know that in last week how many live session we have run in last week. Total 5 live session we have scheduled.
yeah, one is opened out and one is discussion.
No, total 5 live session, 3 from the instructor and 2 from the TAs. Because of that we have discussed, so you can ask everything about the concept and everything about the programming question, theory question.
Okay, theory questions is it's okay, sir. But when it comes to
One
programming,
sec. So you are referring to which question? Can you repeat the question number?
I think graded assignment one next quadratic, finding the roots of the quadratic x1 and x2.
Okay, okay, one sec.
We need to use minus b plus sum and that formula to calculate it. So
Huh?
there we require loop, no, sir.
No, why you require loop?
Because for cases like d less than 0 and d equal to 0, we need to do as per, we need to print it. If
No,
discriminant is, what if discriminant is less than 0 and equal to
no,
0?
one second. We have mentioned one condition in the question statement itself. I'm sharing my screen. One second. Hmm. So in this question, we have mentioned that considering the that b square minus 4c is always greater than equal to 0. So why you are
Okay.
applying any condition in this? No condition is required.
Okay, in week three, I solved, I think I still have four or five problems left. In that,
Hmm.
there will be no loop, sir,
No, we are
in
not
any of
using
it.
Any of them, we are not using any question. All are directly expression based question. You need and many of the question, I think input reading statement is also there. You need to just write an expression in the language.
Okay,
Okay, so
sir,
we are not
and
using any loop. Like you can see here, every steps are given. So in practice assignment, we have discussed many questions related to the input and output. Okay, so like in the first question, we have mentioned that how we are reading the input and how we are printing the output. Statement is already given, and these all these questions are discussed in the live session in detail.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
was
input
present
and
as well.
output. In between, you need to complete the program with the help of just expression. So that expression is a part of the simple week 3 content. So if professor is already mentioned that type of problems from the week 1 onwards, actually, in the another forms, actually.
Okay.
Okay, so we are not using any main concept of the programming language.
Sir, and actually, in the calculating the sum of odd numbers till the end, that problem I think that requires loop, no, sir?
That is also you can solve without the loop if you can explore the trick, just formula. So
Sir,
which
right, but
I think, can you just tell me the number of person? So that problem, I'm just telling you. So I'm remembering that. So I think you're talking about like this. So what is the sum of 1, 3, 5, 7,
yeah,
like
I
this one?
thought like if two mod, sorry, n mod 2 is not equal to 0, then sum is equal to sum plus I. That will be the logic actually.
No, this here you can use. So how many odd numbers are there from 1 to 9? 5, na? So 5 square you can directly use.
Okay, that's the mathematical way we should solve
So
it.
1 plus 3, 4, and 9, and 7, 16, and 9, 25. So you can directly use this total n equal to here 5, first 5 odd number. Okay, so we have given that first n odd numbers. So you can directly apply the formula n square for this. So no need
Okay.
to use the loop. But later you can solve the same problem with the help of loop.
Yeah, if condition.
That loop and conditional statement in week 4.
Okay, and in quadratic equation, that question I'm getting an error actually, like a conflicting data type of, conflicting data type in the x1 and x2 because it was declared as LF, I think it was declared as a double variable, and when it is getting printed, it's actually in another data type. So, which like syntax, the like percentage D or percentage LF, what should be used, sir? And that was also it's not briefly discussed in the video lectures.
This one.
A quadratic, sir, quadratic. This one. They have percentage 2LF in print
Uh,
statement, but we have declared it double and LF both are same or different, sir.
no, that's fine. This is long float actually. This is
Okay,
long
and
float, and double is actually store the long value, and we are using the same long float in the answer because if and you can also to declare this what we are printing here x1 and x2. So you can use the calculation and just store the result in this as x1 and x2 finally, and we are using all the variable in the double format. So what is the problem with this specifier?
sir, I'm getting another. Actually, I used double x1 is equal to I apply. I mean, put the formula. Double x2 is equal to I wrote the formula actually,
No,
but I'm getting an
are you again that declaring the variable?
yeah, no, no, no. For calculating it, yeah, for calculating it.
No, don't declare again this variable x1 and x2. X2, just use this x1 equal to use the formula directly and x2 equal to use the formula. So,
Okay, we should not declare it again actually.
we cannot declare again. Otherwise, the code will give error.
Okay, we should not specify the data type again.
So if we have already declared once, do not declare again the same variable.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and in 4 by 3, that volume calculating, I think PPA 2 in graded, sorry, in practice assignments,
Mhm.
4 by 3 pi r cube, it was actually given. Sorry, I mean 3 or something. I don't know exactly.
This
Yeah,
one. Okay.
this one. This one also I'm not getting the right value. Is it like radius cube? It will not print a cube at a single stretch or what, sir? Like
No,
for
so
cube
you
in Python, we used to do 2 stars and 2 star. We used to write a
okay,
variable
okay,
2 stars and
this is simple cube. Okay, so you can simply write radius into radius into radius.
like the same we can write. Say we with 4 by 3 bracket, I'm closing the bracket, and into directly I'm applying 3.14 and I'm closing the bracket, and the star, and I'm writing radius into radius into radius. Will it work,
Yes,
sir? But
yes, yes.
I'm getting different values actually.
No, it's not. So this is PPN. No? So okay, let me try this. Okay, or you can if you, what you have written that, can you send in the code? Set in the chat. So I'll just check what you have written. Exact. Can you send?
Actually, how can I send?
If you are using your computer, just copy and paste in the.
But now I'm attending it phone. My laptop is
Uh,
in.
okay, 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 no problem. Yeah. So let me. So here actually you can see where volume is not declared. Okay. So here we are
Okay.
printing the volume. In the last statement, volume is not declared.
Yeah, I
So
did it like double volume.
so TU we double and volume VOLUME. Okay, so we have declared this. After that, we will use this formula. So and at the place of pi, we will use this 3.14.
Directly we can write 3.14 now.
So 4 by 3. So let me just write this. So we
So in a single statement can we write like double volume equal to directly.
you can. Okay, so there's no problem. So 4 by 3. Okay, and multiplication, then 3.14 and into, and again you can write this radius 3 times. Okay, so multiply with radius 3 times.
Like that 4 by 3 we need to get it enclosed inside the bracket. Say or else it will give some different value or what.
Otherwise it will give the error.
Okay.
So okay, so this is the statement. Let me check what we are getting.
Excuse me, sir.
A wrong answer. Okay.
This is what I'm also getting the same 392.5. The
I
same
think
value.
they use decimal point for division.
Decimal point.
Sorry.
4.0.
Okay. Okay. So okay.
Why we should use sir this one? I can't understand actually. I also got the same 392.5. The same value.
So what is the issue here actually? When we are writing this 4 by 3, so both are integer value actually. Okay.
Okay.
So but here we are using all the other value are float actually. So here if we are performing any operation with the integer, so integer division like 4 by 3, so results will be come in the integer form. Okay,
Okay.
so what you can do, either you can write like this, other or you can just typecast these things. Okay, so here if you are writing 4 by 3, your answer will come 1 in the integer form, but this is
Okay.
not the correct answer. So 4 by 3 should become 1 point something. Okay, 1.333 like something. No? So we have to change all both the value in the float form.
Okay.
Then this operation will work, division operation.
Okay.
Okay, if
But
you are writing like 4 by 3, then you have to use the typecast. So you can write like this. So float like this. Okay, so let's
the
try
float
this.
will be working only for 4 by 3 or it will be for entire sequence will it be?
Okay, so 1 second. This is what is missed. Float.
Karan, can you also explain about how do we use the various like in math library we need to use power and square root. How can we use it? The proper syntax actually.
Okay, so we can go with this same decimal 4.0 divided by 3.0. What was there? Sorry, 1 second. 4 by 3, yeah, 3.0. Typecasting we will also discuss so that we can also use after typecasting. Otherwise, it is working fine. So regarding what you are asking, that math library. correct?
Yeah, math library, proper syntax to use all those square roots and power.
So that library, actually no need to remember that library. First thing, some basic operation like power, square root, sqrt. So what you can do, you can explore like math library in C, and then just explore the library. So like what function you can directly use. So first thing, you have to include the header file, okay,
Okay.
in your code. So this is the, if you are using any external library, you have to add the library in the code using this line, a has include sorry has include math.h. So this is a math library, okay, and this math library contain some function, and that function directly you can use if you have included this library in your code. So like some example, that let me check this floor, this value double floor, and you can see some library, this fav, and similar, we have this log. You can directly pass the value log. You can call the log function and just pass the value, so it will return the log answer. And you can just log base 10, and we have that power you can see sqrt, okay. So
Okay.
sqrt, you can pass any value inside this sqrt, it will return the answer in the double result, okay. So double data type. So you can see the here how we can call this. So you can simply write sqrt. If you have included this, has included math.h, then just write sqrt and pass the value inside
Okay.
the function, okay. So inside the function, pass the value, and it this function directly will return the answer, okay. And
Okay. Sir, and
yeah, power you can see. So if you want to use to calculate the power like x to the power y, okay. So this function actually takes, we are not discussing too much because we have not covered the function topic till now, so that we'll discuss in the week 5. So this function actually takes two argument x and y, okay, and it return
so
the
every time we need to give double x double y inside the brackets, or if we want specified, we can directly use it.
no, you can just pass the integer value also, but that internally that it will convert into the double, because there is a chance if you can also pass the double value. So it is by default this data type, this function is using, but you can pass any integer value also,
Okay.
okay. That will also, you
Sir,
can see here in this call, actually here we are writing 8.0, and second we are passing 3, okay. So it will calculate 8 to the power 3
so
and return.
8.0 is a float value or double value, sir?
No, this is float, and double is also the same things, but double
But
contain.
precision
Yeah, that
more.
that is actually big. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So these are the function which is already written inside the library, and you can directly call this function and you can get the output. So no need to
Okay.
calculate by your own. So some library are actually important to use in the mathematical calculation. So just explore this math library and some common function. No need to remember all the function, okay. So like
Okay.
square root, power, or very basic function, you can just explore, okay.
Okay.
So we have
So,
lots of library for some specific purpose, so
okay.
you can start exploring these things.
And I have two more doubts actually. In
Hmm.
inside the printf statement, we are giving including the percentage LF, and we are giving slash n. So what does that slash n means?
Slash n, okay. Slash n is just a new line character. Okay, so new line character, let me just type here. So I'm writing the code.
If we generally give like normally without slash n, will it give an error or it will work, sir?
No, 1 second. Studio.h. So I'm just writing printf hello. Okay, and if I'm writing again one new statement. So what is the difference? Okay, sorry. Okay, so we have this very basic code to print two line hello world. But you can see we have written this statement in two line, separate line. Okay, but when we print this, you are getting the one line output, and there is no space in between hello and world. Correct. So
Yeah.
how we can add the space? So we can simply give the space within this double quote like this. So we will get the space. This is fine. Okay, but how we can print the both character in different line? So actually, this compiler will actually print. This print is the statement to print the output in the console. So when the compiler execute this instruction, so this hello actually print, and cursor actually stayed on the same line in the output screen after printing this hello. Okay, so hello will
Okay.
print, and the cursor will remain on the same same hello line after the last word. And after that, when we are printing the next word, so that will also print from the same the cursor place. Okay, so if we want to print in the two different lines, this hello and world, so we have to add one new line character. So new line character is just a /n. Okay, so this slash is actually a escape character, and this n is if we are including n after this slash character, so this become a special character, and the meaning of this character is a new shift cursor to the new line. Shift
Okay.
cursor to the new line. This character will not print in the output. You cannot see this slash and n in the output, but the cursor will actually move to the new line in the output console, and the next line, this WORLD, will print into the next line. So you can see now the world actually is printing into the new line. So this is called
In
as a
Python, in
uh,
Python, you used to end is equal to like a space. Will it work in C, sir?
no, that will not work here. So the syntax is different. You are saying that we write after and equal to and double
Ah,
quote and
end
slash
is
and
equal to
this.
double quote. Yeah, yeah.
That is actually different syntax. That different language that contains different syntax. Yeah, concepts
Okay.
are same, but the syntax are different.
Okay, and in
Okay.
scanf statement, why do you use and n and for describing a variable which is already declared? For calling a variable, we use and, sir. What is that and, sir? The sign in scanf
And
statement,
send.
inside scanf
Okay,
statement.
scanf. Okay, fine. So you are saying that if we have declared like this int a,
Yeah,
and when we are reading the value of a scanf, and when we are writing this percentile d, okay, and we after that we write this and a.
and yeah. What is that and?
Huh. So what happened actually at the compiler? So what is the meaning of AND? This is also a new topic that will cover in the from the week 6. That is actually pointer. So here when we are declaring int a, okay. So some compilers actually allocate some memory block, okay, to this a. So this a is actually contain the reference address. Okay, so address of this memory block. So this is a memory block and some address is there. Okay, so every memory block actually have some space in the memory, have some address in the memory, and that actually address is assigned to this variable a. Okay, so now we are reading some data, through the scanf, and when we are writing this percentile d, so percentile d means what type of data we are reading. Okay, this is specifier for a. But when we are writing this and a, so this a is just referring to the variable, but when we are writing and, so this complete statement is actually returning the address of memory block. Actually it is just referring to the telling to the compiler, so this is the address. So after calculating this and a, so this symbol is actually returning the address of this a. So this address is actually referring to this memory block, just telling
Okay,
to the compiler that just read the data of integer type and store this address.
okay,
Okay, so this statement is actually returning the address of a. So at that address our data will store, which we are reading from the console.
okay,
Okay, so this is when we will just learn the pointer in the week 6, we will use this operator. Okay, so that
okay.
you will find out that how what is the purpose of this.
Sir,
Right
and
now
this
we are just huh.
it will not be used when operations is done. Like I already saw that quadratic problem in that variable already declared as x1, but when we are doing the operation we should not use and x1 is equal to minus b. We should not use
No, no,
that
no. We
actually.
will not use this. This is just for the reading purpose. We used here to just tell to the compiler that where the data will stored actually. With the
Then in
data we are
only
reading.
scanf, inside only scanf that and is used for
So
referring.
that is only used. After that, we will just use the A to read the data. So if we want to just manipulate or processing the data, we will use the variable name, and that variable name will refer to the data which is stored inside this.
Okay.
Okay, it will directly read the data, but we have to just tell to the compiler that which address we will store the data which we are reading from the input, that console. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
that is actually used to just return the address of this A memory address.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and let me just print this also. Okay, so how what actually if we can try to print this, so what actually we are getting, so you can see percent.
Scanf is not in the indentation actually.
So percent, no indentation issue is in the C. Okay, so like if you want to print this n percentile A, so n A. Okay, and here to for the address we are using P. Okay,
So what is
uh,
that p actually?
P just is specifier for the pointer. You
Okay.
can see now this is the address of the memory
Okay.
of the A. Okay, here when we are printing AND A, so this is a memory address in hexadecimal.
Okay.
Okay, and on this address actually our data is stored when we are reading from this is using the scanf.
Okay.
Okay, so this is
Yeah.
used for the address return.
Okay. These are the things I find very difficult when doing C programs, sir. From
Hmm.
moving from the Python program to C program, I'm getting lots and lots of errors actually.
Okay. Yeah, actually C is heavily syntax heavily language. Okay, so here there are lots of syntax and you have to maintain the all rules of the syntax.
In Python, we don't need to specify every time what is the
So
percentage d,
that is
all that we
actually
don't.
no need to declare the data type or this, you no need. But
Memory
here
address actually.
you have to declare all the things. So this pointer concept is actually used in C. After that, any language like Python, Java, this pointer concept is not there. But this
Okay.
pointer is actually very useful for the embedded programming for the electronics. Okay, that is
Okay.
helpful.
Sir, and how many marks does this carries in the grade assignments? Because we already have a theory based one which has some 15 questions or something, and other than that, we have eight graded assignment
50
programming.
50%, 50% for all programming assignment 50% weightage, and theory assignment 50% weightage.
What about in qualifiers, sir? How many like weightage we get for programs?
For qualifier there is no programming exam, so that you will give only the theoretical exam, that similar to your
Only theory?
only theory exam, no programming exam is there for the qualifier.
Okay. Okay.
After entering into the program for the C course, after if you want to continue from the week 5, then there are two programming exams also there for this course.
Okay. So then for qualifier, I thought we have like the same kind of thing. I'm
No,
gonna appear
no,
for qualifier in upcoming
no, you no need
session.
to write the code in the qualifier exam. Okay, so just graded theory assignment type person will be there.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Sir, hello.
Yeah. Okay. So many hands are there. Let me just go a name. Okay, 1 second. Yes, Shreyans. Shreyas. Shreyas Srivastav. Barun.
Sir, in a previous class, I had asked something about the previous graded assignment, sir, where the instructor told that another option which I had marked will also be given marks.
For
But
week 2 year, I think you are referring.
yes, sir, week 2, question number 15.
So that actually we are re-evaluating. So
Oh, but
that will that answer will not reflect on the portal, but the marks will be awarded for the option 1.
Has the marks been awarded, sir? Because in my grades, it's still the same.
So that will take some time. So okay, the evaluation will take some time. So you are a term student or qualifier?
Term student.
So that will take some time because the right now the qualifier process is done. So I think you are referring this question, this one. So option one.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so actually we have just mentioned the re-evaluation for this. So for option one or option three, for both actually we are planning to give marks.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we are trying
That's
to
good.
reevaluate in this manner. If this is not possible due to this this portal issue, but so in that case, we will remove this question for the evaluation. Okay, so first of all, we are actually trying to just give the marks for option A also.
Okay, sir.
Sir, is it essentially confirmed that both are correct answers?
Yes, we have confirmed on the portal also.
Okay, so both are correct. There's no.
Yeah, both are correct. Okay, yeah, Sanjeet.
Sir, I'm repeating OPT only, sir. So should I look for only that weekly time program assignment?
So from week 5, okay, so this week actually we will release the week 5 content. So after
Yes,
this week 5 end, okay, so that means when the week 6 will release that week, okay, so that means this Friday to next Friday, okay, next Friday, we will start this timed level assignment, okay,
Okay, I
and
should look only for that, right? For OP2, I have to qualify like minimum C4 of like this.
yeah, that criteria is there. So for OPP2, you have to complete some criteria for the timed level assignment. Okay,
Okay,
so
I
just
don't have to
check.
look for another graded and all. I don't have to finish, right?
There is no eligibility for graded assignments.
Yes,
But
okay.
for
Thank you, sir.
OPP1, there is no criteria. But OPP2,
Yeah,
you have
yes,
to
yes, sir.
score at least 40% marks in best
Yes,
three,
sir.
I
Yes,
think.
sir.
Okay, you just check the
Yes.
grading document.
Yeah, I'll check that. I'll check
Okay,
that.
so that we
Thank
will
you.
start from the next Friday, not this Friday,
Next
coming
Friday.
Friday, next
Next Friday.
this yeah next Friday. We will send the
So
announcement for
what
that.
is actually OPP?
OPP is a assessment for this course, and that is actually programming exam. Okay, so that programming exam where you will get 4 programming problems in 2 hours. Okay, and that
Okay.
contains the weightage of the your final course score.
Okay, then this
And
graded assignment for programming is considered for as a qualifying eligibility for that appearing for that exam or
so
seek like
if you are qualified student, just focus on the till week 4 first. Okay, and just cover all the concept and question till week 4, and after qualified, if you enroll into this course, okay, if you qualified and if you want to enroll into this course, then you have to follow all the remaining exam for this course. Okay,
okay.
so that qualifier is the first exam till week 4. After that, there is one programming exam till week 6 or 7. Then another programming exam till week 10. So there is no quiz 2 for C programming course. Okay. After this qualifier or quiz 1, we have 2 programming exam. Then there is final end term exam, that theory exam.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, and
Yeah.
you have to at least cleared one of the 2 programming exams. So cleared means you have to score 40 marks in at least one of the programming exam to clear this course.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, after qualified, just then read the grading document for the
Then
course.
this week 3 grade assignment for programming like these 8 questions will not affect the ranking for appearing for qualifier exams, sir.
No, qualifier exam you have to score in the qualifier exam, and that will the criteria that will set the criteria for the.
No, sir. For appearing for qualifier exam, we need to surpass some 40% in every graded assignment. The average should be 40.
Yes, that score is actually related to the your exam score, not this graded assignment.
Okay.
This graded
Okay.
assignments are useful to eligible for the qualifier exam.
Okay, that eligibility, that graded assignment of programming is considered or not, sir, for qualifier?
Yeah, that will consider. Na? So, uh, okay. So actually, in every week, if you have theory and programming both assignments, so 50% of the programming score will be considered, and 50% from the theory assignments. So that means
Okay,
all programming person have 50% weightage, and that theory assignment have 50% weightage. So total 100% weightage for the every week.
okay, okay.
Okay. So this is the
Even though
way
we are
to.
not writing the programming exam for qualifier, we need to do it for writing these graded assignments of
First
week 3,
thing,
right?
there's no programming exam for the qualifier. That programming
Okay,
exam will happen after the qualifier for the term students, not the qualifier. You need to learn only week 4, first 4 week content. This programming exam is for the term students, those who have enrolled into the course.
okay. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, Ananda Siri.
Sir, I have a doubt in week 4 practice assignment.
Okay, yeah, that week 4 I'm just entering into. Okay, so I'll explain all the topics also.
Okay, sir.
Sir,
Okay, so
excuse
yeah,
me, sir.
yes, yes.
Sir, I have doubt in week third professor's lecture, recorded lecture. Can I ask this?
So
Like,
yeah, just tell me.
sir, in the last lecture, one of the type he told that in INT we use like 5 by 2 is equals to 2 when we use INT specification. But as we use float or double characters, then we have to use like 5 by 2.0 to get 2.5. So why it is so like when we are actually using float and double, so why can't we use 5 by 2 only?
Okay. So you are saying that if we are performing like this operation, so we have some float float variable, okay, and we want to perform on the operation a equal to and 5/2, correct?
Right, sir.
And we want to print the result for this. So like this is f and this is a, and remaining part I'm doing. And what we are getting, you can see. So we are losing some information here. So when we are we have two value and 5 and 2. Both are actually integer value. Okay. And if we are performing division operation, so there is a chance to get the float value in the output. But that we will lose here because both value are actually the float value. Sorry, both value are integer value. And we are performing the division operation here. So that here actually we have to perform the explicit typecasting. So this is not performing implicit typecasting is not happening here, and we are losing some information for the calculation. So to perform this correctly, so we have to use like this. So inside bracket float, and we have to write like this. So let me just write. You can see. So this is called as a explicit typecasting. So here we are telling to the compiler, so what if we are performing this operation, so this will be performed based on the floating value of the both, so 5.0 and 2.0 like this. And then we will get the float answer. Okay. Otherwise, what
Okay.
happening if we are performing 5 by 2 only, so that 5 is integer, 2 is integer. So the value, the data will come, only the integer part will come in the output. And the remaining part will actually lose. That will information will not store.
So
So
can
means
you
we have to
give the
clarify the that whatever we are dividing, so we have to clarify that whether the digits are we have to take in integer form or float form, right?
So you have to take care of this, what type of operation you are using in the program. So is there what type of input you are passing for the expression, and what type of expected output for that. Okay, if you know this initially, so like if you are performing the operation when the both value are this is 6 and 2. Now in this place we will not lose any information for this operation, and we will get the correct answer. So there is no information loss here. But there is a chance if we are getting any random value for this division operation, so there is a chance to get the float answer. So at that place, just use the float typecasting for this. Okay, either what you can do. So this is the best way to convert this to the float operation. So float and then this, okay, and then perform this operation. Otherwise, the basic, like if you're performing the sum operation, so like 6 plus 2, if you're performing in sum operation for two integer value, you will always get the integer value. Okay, you will not get the float value for the sum operation for two integer. Same for subtraction also, you will not get the float value for the subtraction operation. Same for multiplication, if you are performing multiplication in two integer value, you will not lost any information after this operation. But division is the operation where there is a chance to lost of information. Okay, so
But
here,
sir, in the lecture, it was denoted by 5 by 2.0.
that is
So, like,
also that is actually perform implicit typecasting. So if any of the any of the two value is float, okay, so like if we are performing this, so implicit typecasting actually perform in this expression. So if any of the value is float, so by default the above value will also convert into the float.
means
Okay.
if we are taking either 5 or either or 2 in point form, then both of the characters will
So
interchange.
so
Yeah.
then implicitly that compiler will convert both the value into the float for this operation. Okay,
Okay.
so you are getting the correct answer. But both, if both value are integer, then compiler will not convert this, and it will calculate the, it will take only the integer part of the solution for this too.
And sir, also I have a doubt in pre-post increment decrement section
Okay, that part.
that
Mhm.
like if we program like I is equals to I plus plus and
Huh.
I is equals to plus plus I. So like if we are taking like I equals to 7, so what will be the results of both the
Okay.
operations actually plus
Huh.
plus I and I plus plus?
Okay, 1 second. Let me open the notes. 1 second. Three. PDF.
Sir, you referred to implicit and explicit. Can you give more detail on it? What can you give? What is implicit and explicit? Sir?
So explicit means we are converting. We have mentioned some code into the code to convert the data into the another data. So that is actually explicit typecasting. We are converting by the code,
Okay.
but compiler is also convert sometime. So that is actually called implicit typecasting.
Okay.
So
Like
type
if we
convert
give
is
float,
huh.
it
So
is explicit, and if we give 5 by 2.0, it is implicit.
so that is actually by if we are giving 2.0, so implicit the type that compiler is actually converting the above values also into the float.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So 1 second. So let me open the notes. C programming B3. So B3. So that in pre-increment and post-increment. Yeah, this is also important topic for the exam purpose. So let me move to this topic. Operator. So there is the pre-increment and post-increment. Okay. This is the okay. So first thing I'll explain that what is pre-increment and post-increment. Suppose we have one expression like a equal to, and we have another variable like int a and b, and a equal to 10 and b equal to 20, or we have no value for a and b equal to 20, and we are writing b plus plus. Okay, so what is the meaning of this? And if we are writing a equal to plus plus b, okay, so these are the two example for this. So this is post increment, this is called as a pre increment, okay, in the expression. So what happened when this operation is actually executed by the compiler? So this is post expression, okay, so this is post increment. So what will happen here? We are using one expression where we are assigning some value of b to a. Okay, so this is the main operation of this expression. So post increment means this operation, so that increment will perform after this operation, this assignment operation. Okay, so what is the main operation we are performing? So that increment will perform after that operation. So what is the current value of B? 20. So first 20 value will assign to A, and then this B increment operation will perform. Okay, so after expression that increment will perform, and then B will increment to B plus Y1, so that will become 21. Okay, so by this expression, meaning is this: so first we will perform this main task of this expression, and then we will increment the value of B. And what is the meaning of pre-increment? So that means before solving the expression, first we will increment the value of B. So this is the first task, and then we will perform the assignment operation. So this is the second task. Okay, so here what will happen? B value will increment first, so that B will become 20, 21, and after updating this B value, then will assign to the A. So this 21 will be assigned to the A, and then A will become 21. Okay, so this is the meaning of pre-increment and post-increment. So for some example, we can take, you can see. Now just read this statement, pre-increment. So in pre-increment, the value of the variable is increment before its current value is used in the expression. Okay, so what expression we are using? We will use the current value in the expression first, and then we will increment the value. This is called as a pre-increment. Okay, yeah, before, sorry. We will increment the current value of the variable, and then we will use into the expression. So this is called as a pre-increment. So here this is the example. So first thing, x equal to 5. First we will increment the x, that x will become 6, and then 6 value will be assigned to y. Okay, so now the x and y both will become 6. But for the post increment, in post increment, the value of the variable is used in an expression first. So here we will use the current value of the variable first in the expression, and after that we will increment it by 1. Okay, so in this another example we have discussed, so x equal to 5, then we will increment x later. Okay, so this is post increment. First we will assign this x to y. So what is the current value of x? 5. So 5 will be assigned to y, and then x value will be incremented by 1. So here the now x, this y will remain 5 and x will become 6. So these are the pre-increment and post-increment operation. So where it is used. Okay, so any doubt in this, how this operation is performing?
No, sir.
So I am discussing one more example. Suppose one condition is given, like A equal to 10 and B equal to 20, and like we are calculating Z equal to, just tell me the answer for this. So A plus equal to 11, and B plus equal to B equal to 20. Okay, so 20. Okay, so what is the value? What will be the value of Z here? So this is the question. Both value are integer. So int A and B, A equal to 10, B equal to 20, and Z, this expression is given with the pre-increment and post-increment, both operation. So what will be the value of Z, A, and B after this expression? Okay, so we are calculating the all value B, Z. So this is actually a conditional statement. Okay, and these are logical operator, and we will check. So what is the meaning of AND here? So can anyone tell me what is the meaning of AND for this condition?
If either one of the statement is false, the total statements goes to false, and if both are true, then the result will be 1.
Yes, correct. So if both statements are true, then output will be true, and true means if this is an integer, then it will become 1. Okay, if we are getting 5, or sorry, if we are getting false, then it will become 0 as the integer value. Okay, so here tell me, is this condition true or false? First condition.
Sir,
True.
it is false. I think.
Very true.
False.
True.
False.
Sir, it might be false only.
Okay, so many confusion are there. Okay, so what is this operation actually?
So
Post
false.
increment. Yeah, this is post increment. Okay, correct.
Yes, sir.
So according to the post increment definition, we will use the current value of a in the expression, then we will increment the value of a. So first we will use the current value of a. So current value of a is 10. So 10. And we will use this 10 value in the expression. Okay, so expression is here 10 equal to 11 or not. Okay, so this is the expression we are checking. So we will use the current value. After checking this condition, then we will increment the value of a. So this condition is now false. Okay, and this condition is now false. So if one condition is false, so overall will be false.
False.
Okay, so Z will become 0. Now what will be the value of a? What will
11
be the
actually.
final value
11.
of the a? Yeah, okay,
11.
correct. So we have checked this value is the this condition is false. After this expression, we will increment the value of a because this is a post increment. So post increment means first we will use the current value of variable in the expression, and then we will increment the value of the variable. Okay, so this is in the post increment. So this a will be incremented by 1, and this will become 11. Okay, so this is the meaning. Now according to the end condition, if first condition is false, overall output will be false. Okay, because both should be true for the overall true. Now tell me what will be the value of b?
Think 20, sir.
Sir, it will be
20.
21.
21.
Because it is a pre-increment.
21, sir.
Okay, yeah, this is also one important thing here, because you know that for end condition both conditions should be true. If compiler have found out that this first expression is false, then compiler will not check this second one and totally ignore this part. Okay, because the first condition is false, then output will be false. There is no need to check the another execute the remaining part. So compiler will ignore completely this expression and will not evaluate this. So that means there is no effect will be happen with that means this pre-increment or this condition will not be checked or not be evaluated. Okay, it will be completely ignored by the compiler. So b will also remain 20. Okay, so this is also one important thing. So end, I'm just telling you, in end condition, if this is the C1 and this is C2, so if C1 is true, then compiler will check this. Okay, C2, and this is true, then output will be true. Okay, if both are true, output will be true. If C1 is false, if this is false, first condition is false, this condition will not be checked, not be evaluated also. Okay, we are not saying that not be checked, that means it will be ignored completely, second condition. So if anything is happening in the second expression, that will not actually execute, so that will be completely ignored, so output will be false. If first condition is true, second condition is false, so both are actually checked. Okay, so first condition is checked. If first condition is true, then we will compiler will move to the second condition, and if that is false, output will be false. If yeah, so that is we have already checked. If first condition is false, then compiler will not check the second condition. And similar for the or condition. Okay, so you know what is the meaning of or? Or meanings, if any of the condition is true, output will be true. Okay, so here,
Sir, actually, sir, excuse me, sorry to interrupt. Int of z you gave, sir. Instead of int, if you give float or some other data type, what will it be? It will give error or something.
no, what value you are saying that here float? You are saying float?
Int of z means if it is true, it will give 1. If it is float, it will give 1.0 like that. Or
1.0. That we convert
okay,
into 1.00.
okay. For but one, even though no matter what is the data type, if true is there, 1 will be the output, and false is the 0 will be the output. Is it right, sir?
So yes. So for true and false, 0 is always considered as a false. Other than 0, all value will be considered as a true. Okay.
Okay.
So 0
Then
will consider
zero
as a
point
false.
zero will be there.
So 0.0, and there is no meaning for 0.0. So that is actually a false.
Okay.
Okay. So other than 0 value, all value considered as a true. Okay, so regarding this
Okay.
or statement is also important here. If any of the two condition, or if we are using more than two, so if any of the condition is true, output will be true. So here compiler will check the first condition. Okay, if this condition is true, so compiler will ignore this one, will not check, execute the second condition. Okay, so this is also important. If first condition is true, compiler will completely ignore the second condition, will not check. If first condition is false, then compiler will check the second condition. If this is true, output will be true. Okay, sorry, here true, output will be true. If first condition is false and second condition is false, then output will be false. So this is the way to check the condition, this logical operator and condition by the compiler. Okay, so just remember these things. If first in the or operator, if first condition is true, second condition is not evaluated, completely ignored. Okay, and operator, if first condition is false, overall output will become false, second condition will not be checked. Okay, so this is one important things actually you need to remember for the exam. Okay, so any doubt in this? So suppose if the same expression, if we write like this, a plus plus, this is now 10. Okay, then compiler will move to the second condition, and now this condition a is plus plus equal to 10. Yes, this is true. Okay, and now this first is true, then compiler will move to the second. Now is this condition true or not? Second condition.
It's true.
True.
It's true.
Yes. Now this is pre-increment. That means first we will increment the value of b, and then we will use the value of b in the expression. Okay. So first we will perform the pre-increment 21. It will become 21, and then 21 is equal to 21. Yes, true. This is now true. And then overall, all both conditions are true. Then overall will become true, and z will become 1. Okay. So this is the another case. Okay, and yeah, so this is the expression. Okay, any other
So
query?
yes,
So one
sir.
more doubt I
The
have.
value of the B will be 20 or 21.
No, it will become 21. In
So
this
you
case,
have written there 20.
no, this is for the previous case when it was 11. Okay, so these value are for previous case when, yeah, these value are for the previous case when this here it was 11. Okay, when this condition was false and this is not evaluated. In that case, the output will be this: z equal to 0, a equal to 11, and b equal to 20. I have mentioned the another expression: z equal to b plus plus equal to 10, and plus, sorry, a, this is a, and this plus b equal to 21. Okay, now this is the another, so the difference you can see. So here in this case, a equal to 10 and b equal to 20. Yeah, so for this question actually, if we will check, so this condition is now true. Okay, we will check a equal to 10, 10 is equal to 10. Yes, so this condition is now true, and our a will be incremented by 1 later, so that will become 11. If this condition is true, then compiler will move to the second condition for checking. Okay, so now this is pre-increment, so now b will become 21 first, and then equal to 21. Yes, this is true. Now both conditions are true, so z will become 1, and b will also become 21. So now this is the answer for this case. Okay.
Sir, I have one more doubt relating float and double. Like
Hmm.
if we give the command of 7 by 3, like if in the float sense, the float takes gives the output up to the 8 digit values after point. So will it like we give 7.0 divided by 3. So will it be giving the output till like 2.3, or it will give like 2.3333 up to 8 times?
Okay, so that you can check what type of data you are using for the storing the result. Okay, so suppose if you are using this, so you have taken what for this. Okay, so let me check this.
7 by 3.
So here also, if we are using like, okay, so this is to 7 by 3. You are saying 7 by 3. So float is actually use the 6 digit after the decimal. You can see. Okay, if we use the double, uh, okay, so this actually we have to use the typecast because the operation is performing with the float now. So let me use the double typecast. So okay, still we are getting this long float. Precision is just, I think, more. Okay, double is also I think contain, and let's check long. Okay, so what is the long float? So both way actually it is showing in the 6 up to 6 decimal digit. Okay, so or any other value. So like 22 by 7, we can check 22 by 7, 5 value. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Sir, but instead of percentage LF, if we give percentage point 0.9 or something LF, I think it is coming.
But by default, yeah, it is reaching. So I by default the compiler is giving only till 6. Okay, but float, if we use float and then let me check. And can we use this? Yeah, okay. So here, so after 6, we are not getting the exact correct answer. So if we are using float, then till 6 value we will get the correct answer. So this, okay. And but if you are using double, you can see we are getting the answer with more digit. So like if we can use 10 also, then this is for the float and double. Hmm. So actually double is more accurate till 10 decimal point, and float is not. You can see. So float is only accurate till 6 decimal point. Okay. So after that, you can see we are, if we are using double, so we are getting the accurate answer for like this till 10 decimal point. So 1428 is repeating from this point. Okay. So 1429. This is for because the next value is coming 5 and this is round off to 9. But here actually we are losing the information. This is not correct. This is not the accurate things if we are using float value. Okay, so by default compiler is just showing till 6 decimal point. So if you want to you in print more decimal points, so we have to include this value here. How much digit actually you want to print after the decimal. Okay.
Excuse me.
Yes.
So does this mean that if we try to extract more digits out of double, let us say 15, even that will become imprecise beyond 12?
So there's, I think there's some range for the double also. So let me check float. So we are getting the, this is also correct. Okay. So this is more accurate, but if we use the float for this 15, so you will get the inaccurate output after the 6 digit. Okay. So double actually is more precise output with more till more decimal points. Hello, any query in this?
Just
No,
wanted to
sir.
know what limit for the precision of the double, how many decimals?
That you can explore. So it has a so it is also based on the system. So first thing, it has a 64-bit floating point precision according to the IEEE. And double you can see. So float have only 32-bit float point precision, but this is 64-bit. So up to 7 decimal point, and this is up to 15 decimal point. So this is just like a double. So you can, this is also maybe changed based on the system. Okay, so and also based on the compiler. This is not actually fixed. Okay, so what actually size we are taking for the double, this is depends on this. Okay, so maybe some compilers are using like in that float maybe 8 bytes, some maybe you are using 4 byte. So it is also based on that. Okay,
So
so
essentially, after its limit, even it will start giving imprecise values like the float we just saw.
yes, yes, yes.
We saw float was giving some random output after its 7 decimal precision, and so double will behave in the same way after its
Same way
precision
after
is
this
was 10.
limit, yeah. So actually each data type have some limited size. So like integer have 4 byte. Okay, so after that, if we want to store the more big values, it will give some error. Okay, so some incorrect things, some incorrect behavior. So same things if we are using some limited size for the that float and double, and we are just storing the bigger value than that, then definitely we will give some correct behavior.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so by default, percentage LF will give 6 digits precision.
yeah. So this, yeah, that we have also checked that this is based on the compiler, or maybe it is depends on the compiler.
Oh, okay, sir.
Yeah, Vivek. Shreyas.
Sir, I am clear with my doubt.
Okay, okay. Ananda. Anandasri?
Sorry, sir, I forgot to put it down.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, Vivek, do you have any? Okay. So I'm moving to the Week-4 actually summary. I have created one document for that. So Week-4. Okay, this one. Okay. So Week-4 basically we are starting this main concept of the programming language, this control statement. Okay. So till now in Week-3 we have just learned this basic expression things. So like what type of operator we used and operators and data types and expressions. So related to this. Now the main concept is control statement. Without these control statement, we cannot write any advanced program. So here the main control statement, we have already discussed these topics in the Week-1 and Week-2 in the computational when the professor have discussed the computing. Okay, so control statement contain the two types of statement. One is conditional statement and another is loop. Okay, so control statement, we are just controlling the execution flow. Okay, so how our flow will actually our compiler is executed the instruction from top to down manner. Okay, so first instruction, then second instruction, then in this way. But how we can control the execution of flow, that is actually decided by these control statements. So first control statement is if statement. Okay, so if statement, so this is very related to the real life. Okay, so if condition is so sometimes we found some situation where we have two way to decide, and we decide any one way based on the current condition. Okay, so like in the general example, if you want to travel in to any place, so and you want to catch the train, and you have just planned to catch the train to move for any place. Okay, but suppose if you miss the train, okay, so this is like a condition. So if you miss the train, then what is your another plan? What is your backup plan like this? Okay, so suppose if you miss the train, then you will just search the bus or search the taxi to move that place. Okay, so similar to this, at some situation, if we have more than two or three condition, two situation, and we need to decide the one situation based on the current condition. So that is actually called as a conditional statement, and that flow of execution is depend on the condition. Okay, so the C provide the if else statement or syntax to use apply this conditional statement in our program. So this is like this. So we actually entered into this condition when we are writing the program and our execution is happening. Okay, so our program is execution, our instructions one by one. At some point we have two situation, and that is based on the some conditions. So we will just use the if statement here. So here this is the if, this if means if this condition, and we will mention the condition. Okay, if now condition is true, so condition is just a comparison operator or equivalent operator, like we use the conditional operator we will use for that, and we will check the condition, and condition is returned always true or false. So condition is output is will always be true or false. So if condition is true, then we will decide some statement to execute, and condition is false, then we will decide the another set of statements to execute. Okay, so here this is the structure of the if statement. If condition is true, then we will move to this side, and here some statement will be written, and that is called as a body of if. Okay, so if the condition is true, then we will execute this part. If the condition is not true, okay, so this here we are defining only if statement. Okay, so if statement, not if else statement. If condition is not true, then we will exit, and we will not execute this part, and we will exit out of this if block directly. Okay, if condition is true, then we will execute this statement, and then we will actually exit by the entire block. So here this is the flow diagram, and after this is a syntax in C. So we will write this if first, and inside the bracket, okay, inside the bracket we will write some condition. So this condition may be anything. You can compare two variable, you can like A is greater than B, A is smaller than B, A is equal to B. Okay, like this, you can write any comparison operator with some value, or you can like this, A is less than 10, like this. So any comparison or any conditional expression you can write here, and then conditional expression will return some true or false, and based on that, this is called as a body of the if. Okay, so after this if statement, we use the open bracket and close curly brackets, and inside this we write the set of statements. Okay, set of expressions. And if condition is true, the set of expression will execute. If this condition is not true, so this block will be ignored and will not execute, and will directly jump to the after this block. Okay, so this is one example. You can see we are checking like this, int x equal to 10, and now we are checking if x is greater than 5. Okay, so this is the condition. If this condition is true, so you can see x is now 10, and we are checking the condition if x is greater than 5. So now this condition is true, then output you will get this print statement. Okay, if you are passing x equal to 4 here in this statement, so now this condition will become false, and in that case no output will be come in the output console. Okay, this statement will not execute in that case. Okay, so this flow is actually based on the condition decided by the conditional statement. And this another version of this if statement is if else. So there is a chance you have two set of statements. If condition is true, then you want to execute the first set of statement, and if the condition is false, then you want to execute the different set of instructions. Okay, so this is the flow diagram for this. If this condition, okay, so this is actually a condition. If this condition is true, then flow of execution will move to this side, true side, and will execute the body of if. Okay, so in this statement we will use two body. One body for if statement if condition is true, another body for else statement if condition is false. Okay, so if this condition is true, so this side, this body of if will execute. If the condition is false, then body of else will execute, and then control will move to the outside of this block. So this is the syntax. If condition, then we will this is the block body of if, and we will write some code here, and else part. Okay, so this else means if this first condition is not true, so that means we will move to the else block, and else block will be execute. So this else block will be execute. So here you can see the example. So x equal to 3. Okay, now we are checking x is greater than 5. This is a condition. So now x is 3. 3 is greater than 5. No, this is false. So false means compiler, that control will move to this else block, and this body will execute actually. Okay, and this part will be ignored by the compiler. This will not execute, and this part will be execute. So x is not greater than 5. This message will be print into the output screen. Okay, so you can, when you are writing the logic and when you are writing the code, based on your logic, you can decide the control of the execution. If you have more than two, like if we are writing the code to check number is even or odd. Okay, so if we are passing some n value to the code, and maybe anything, and after that we are checking this n is a even or odd, so that means you have two possibility of the output. Okay, so any number cannot be the even and odd at the same time. Okay, so it may be either even or it may be either odd. So in that case you have to use this if else statement, and you will check like this, and division at the by 2 equal to 0. Okay, so this operation will actually divide by 2, and it will return the remainder. So this remainder is equal to 0. This is now condition. If this condition is true, then just write the print statement inside the if body, that is number is even. Okay, so and if this condition is not true, then inside the else body write the print statement with the odd way strings. Okay, so that odd will be print. So in this type of situation, you have to decide the control flow with the help of this conditional statement. Okay, so this is the one example where you have two possibility if the condition is true and false, and you have only one condition. sometimes you maybe have more than one condition in the in your logic, in your that program solution. So in that case, you can also write more than one condition with the help of if, else if, and else. Okay, so this is just a structure, but you can use any number of else if in between. Okay, so like if, else if, else if, else if, else if, like this, and then else. Or you can also skip the else part if you have no any remaining condition. Okay, so here this is the flow of the execution. If condition. Okay, so this is the main condition you have mentioned, first condition, and this condition is true, you will execute the body of if. Okay, if this condition, first condition, is false, then execution will control will move to the second condition, else if. Okay, but here you have to mention the condition for else if. You cannot write like only else if part. Okay, you have to mention the another condition with the else if statement. Okay, and then we will check the another condition for else if that condition is true, then that body will execute. Otherwise, if that condition is false, then else part will be executed. Okay, and suppose if you have more than one else if condition, so you can just write like the similar way. You can just make one more condition, then true and false, and like this. Okay, so you can write any number of else if in between. So this is the syntax for this if and condition. So same things, this is the condition 1. If this condition is not true, then this part will be checked, else if part. Okay, and this condition is like true, then this will be executed. This statement will be executed. If this is also false, then else part will be executed. Okay, but what happens if the first condition is true? So only this if body will be executed, remaining part will not be checked, completely part will be ignored. Okay, so compiler will not check any another condition. Okay, if first condition is true, then this part will execute and remaining part will be ignored. So that means any one block will execute if you are writing if, else if, else if, else if, else type of block. Okay, if any of the condition is executed, the remaining part will be ignored after that. So this is the condition, like we have mentioned x equal to 10, and we have mentioned one condition here. If x is greater than 15, then this should be print. Another condition is this condition is not true, that means our value of x is not greater than 15. Okay, it may be 15 or lesser than 15. So if this condition is not true, then we are coming to the second condition. Else if x is greater than 5. Okay, suppose if here x equal to 10, so now this condition is not true, that means we are jumping to the second condition, and now this become true. 10 is greater than 5. Now this part, this will be executed, greater than 5 but not greater than 15. Okay, so this part is executing. Suppose if we are passing x equal to 4, so the first condition is not true, second is also not true, then else part will be executed. So this will be executed. And if we are passing x equal to 20, so only this part will execute. First condition, this part will be executed, the remaining part will not be checked. Okay, so any of the one block will execute at a one time in this statement. So this is if, else if, or else things. Okay, so this is the conditional statement. The another version of the conditional statement we have in C, this is switch statement. Okay,
Sir,
so, yes.
What if we write else if after else?
So that is an incorrect statement.
Okay.
Okay, so we have to follow the rule of the that language. So if we have only this structure, so like I'm writing that code. Like int a, and if we have okay, so this is the was one way of the writing the code. Okay, with the help of this opening bracket and closing bracket. But sometimes we can also write the code without this open bracket and close bracket if you have only one line of a statement like this. Okay, so you can also skip this. So in that case, like what you can do, print f like this. I'm just starting any random example here, so a, okay, or we can write like this. So if a equal to, okay, equal to like this, else if a equal to 2, same print statement. Okay, so a equal to 3, 4, 5, and here value we are updating like b, c, d, e. Okay, now if we are passing a equal to 1, you can see, so I have not written that else part, so that I am also written else, and after that I'm printing d. Okay, so if I'm writing this, you can see we are getting a. So only this statement is executed and the remaining part will not executed. Okay, so here we are not using any open bracket and close bracket. So by default compiler will understand that, and after this condition it will read the next line, and when the compiler will find this colon, okay, that the closing actually character, so that will actually close the bracket for this first if block. Okay, so that will compiler will understand that here after getting this first colon, that means this if block is actually completed. Suppose if you write another statement after this, so like print f like hello, okay, so what will happen? So here you can see syntax, we are getting syntax error. This is not the correct statement. So what happening, we are writing this if condition, and this first line actually will consider inside the block of if, but now this block of if is actually completed here, okay, after the first closing that semicolon, but after that the remaining block should come, that if we have this else if or something else, and this print hello is statement which is actually outside of the block of if. Okay, and we cannot write the code like this. So if we have mentioned the condition and we have write the syntax for the block of if, and this is actually outside of the block of if, okay, and then we are writing this else if. So else if means the if that if should also be there for this else if, okay, but now compiler is not understanding this, because the before that we have mentioned this statement like, so this if statement is completed here, after that one random statement is there, so print hello world, and then again we are started the if else block, but if is not there for this. Okay, so this if is actually not totally separated from this part. Okay, so to correct this we have to actually start with if, because we cannot write the syntax like else if else if else if else without if. Okay, and we can use if and we can leave without else if or else, we can write like this. Okay, and we can write like this if else if else if else, this is also correct way. We can write like if else if else if else if without else, that is also correct. And we cannot write like this if else if else if, this is incorrect. Okay, so the order is actually first you have to write the if statement, then you have to write else if, and then you have to write else. Okay, if you don't have else if condition, so you can only write if or else, that is also fine. Okay, if you have only one state condition if, then you can also skip this complete part, but the order will remain same if you are using the all three type of condition complete statement. Okay, so if else if or else, if you are using all three statement in this structure, so you have to follow the order, if first, then else if, then else. Okay, You cannot change the order. You cannot write else if first and then if then else like this. Okay, so just maintain the order for this statement. But this is a single line statement. You should know how we can write this single line statement without any open bracket and close bracket. So this is okay if you have one line expression inside the body. Okay, so no need to write this open bracket and close bracket. But for safety purpose, just write the open bracket and close bracket. Otherwise, maybe you will, if you have mistakenly, if you mention two statement like this, so that will give some error. Okay, but you can also write two statement, but that you have to write like this. So before closing this first statement, you can write like this. Okay, now two statement, if you want to write more than two statement without open bracket and close bracket, so you have to write like this. So print a then comma. Okay, we are not writing this closing character here. Okay, so this parenthesis, that semicolon, we are using comma, then we are writing the another statement, then we are using the closing this semicolon. Then compiler will just check this is a condition statement and will just execute this statement. This is not terminated yet, and it will execute the second statement, and this is the closing point. So that means compiler will just execute both the statement, and after this a compiler will close the body of if. Okay, so this first if body, and the next statement will start execution. Okay, so this is the body for else if. Okay, so in this way you can write. So otherwise you can simply use the open bracket and close bracket for every body. So this is the another way of the writing the code inside this if statement, and later we can also write in the similar way for the loop. So here this is the first thing. Okay, so now we are discussing this. So this is a, if a equal to 1, you can see we are getting a. If you are writing a equal to b, you are getting b. Or suppose if you are writing a equal to 10. Okay, so 10 is not matching to any condition. Okay, so a equal to 1, a equal to 2, a equal to 3, a equal to 4, a equal to 5, and we are passing a equal to 10. So all these 5 conditions are not matched, then else part. Else means if any condition is not true, this part will execute. So then D is printing. Okay, so this is the one way for if else things. Okay, if we have many conditions to check, and we have some limited value for each for the variable, we have some limited value, and we know that what are the possible value we have. So instead of writing the if else condition is in this way, we can use the switch case statement. Okay, so switch case is also the similar way to writing the if else things, but we use the different syntax. And what is the syntax for that? Let me write.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Could we just write the printf statements in the same line as the if after the parenthesis is closed?
Where here?
In the if statement, after the a is equal to when parenthesis is closed, we could write printf there directly and close with semicolon, right? This is also correct,
this
right?
Way? Yeah, this is correct.
Okay.
This is also correct.
Thank you.
Okay. So instead of writing the code in this manner, the another way to write the same things in different with the different syntax switch case. Okay, so here we have the keyword like switch. Okay, and we pass the variable or expression here. A. Okay, inside this.
वो दे दो वो चलूंगा.
Okay, so switch case. So like as a name switch, this is type of switch, and switch is actually change the state of state 1 to another one when we change the value for this. Okay, So inside the switch statement, this is the expression. Here we can write any expression, and that expression return a value. Okay, and that value actually we make as a case number, and we can write like this. So case, and suppose this case, this a is returning 1. Okay, so this is the value, and after that we write the statement. So print f and simple a. Okay, and this is the closing. Okay, so in this way, first I'm writing the syntax like this. So total 5, and after that default. So this is just another way to write the logic if you have limited condition, if you know this. And print d. Okay, and this is a, b, c, d, and this is e, and this is like f. Okay, and this is case 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm removing this. So this was So now you can see what is the meaning of this. So here we are using the variable a as a value or expression inside the switch, and what value we are getting for this a, that will become a case number. Okay, so if we are passing a equal to 1, so that means this is matched with this case number 1. If we are passing case a equal to 2, so that will match with this case 2. Okay, and when our case is actually matched, that statement will execute. Okay, so now if our any case is not matched, so then this is the last statement default. This is similar to the else statement. Okay, and all these statements like a if else if like this, but this is default. If any case is not matched with the input value for the switch, then this default part will execute. But are we getting the correct input according to this, and or we are missing something in this? So you can see what happening here. We are getting this value, or we can just write like this /n new line character to get the output in new line. Okay, so now we are writing this. Okay, so B, C, D, E, F. Why we are getting this all output? Okay, so A equal to 2, A we are writing here, and this 2 is matched to this case 2 here. Okay, and now this B is printed. But why all the C, D, E, F are printed? This should not be printed. So because of this switch constraint, if we have entered into the any case, so compiler will check the case first. Okay, and any which case is actually matched, and that will enter into the case number. But after that, it will execute the all remaining part of the code. Okay, so if it is matching or not, so after this it will execute all the remaining part of the code, so all the print statement. So to prevent this, we have to use the break statement after every case. Okay, so we have to use the break statement after every case statement. So like this. And this is default is actually last statement, so no need to write the break statement for the default. So now you can see the execution. If we are matching with case 2, then this part will execute, and this actually statement will break. Okay, so we have to stop our execution in this statement by using this break statement. So break is a keyword to stop the execution at this point. Okay, and we will jump to outside of this switch case. directly after this break. Okay, so when we run this, you can see we are only getting B now. Okay, if we are writing A equal to 1, then we are only getting A. If we are writing A equal to 10, then we are getting F, this default statement. Okay, so instead of switch that if else condition, if you know what are the possible value for the input, then you can make the case for that, and you can use this switch case statement. Okay, if you know initially what are the possible value for the input variable. Okay, so here you can also write the expression. So like suppose if you are using this pre-increment here, not this is not pre-increment, this is post-increment, this. So like if you are passing A equal to 1, so you can see this expression will execute and we are getting 2 B here. Okay, so this A is incremented by 1 here, and then it will become 2, and case 2 will be matched. And let me check the post increment. Now you can see, so here, and we are using post increment, so this A is actually using in the operation first, then it will increment. Okay, so A is 1, and 1 we are passing to the case, and this case is executing. Now this A will increment after that. This is post increment. Okay, so according to the case, the part of the program will execute. So you can just write the code in this way also, instead of if else things. So both are actually the conditional statement. So is there any query in this else if
Excuse me?
this condition? Yes.
Two questions. In the if statement, we had a possibility where we could, even if we did not use the curly braces, the statement would execute just fine. In switch, is it necessary to use the curly braces?
No, so actually we can, this is the way to write the code, and you can write multiple statement here. Before writing the case 2, you can write multiple statements. So like after this, you can write next line also. Okay, so like this. So here no need to use this. Break it. Okay. Okay, so you can see there's no problem with if you are writing the code in this manner. So this will actually consider the as a block before what you have written before the case 2, that will consider inside the case 1. Okay.
I was asking about the curly braces immediately below the switch.
This one, yeah, this one you have to write for this.
These ones become necessary now.
Yes, it is necessary. But here for case 1, no need to use the curly braces, or let me check the curly braces also, so that will also work, I think. It is also fine. Yeah. So you can also write the code inside the curly brackets, so you can write like code like this. This will also fine. Okay, but this is required for the switch statement because you have to mention many condition. So here switch case 1, case 2, like this default. But here you can also skip this default. Okay, so no need. This is not necessary. If you know the case, it is working fine. But if you have remaining condition, if any case is not matched, so what should be the output? So just use this default. Okay. Okay. Any other query in this?
Yes, one more question regarding the break. So the first break that the program encounters will be executed. Is that right? Suppose if there is no break after case 1, then it will also print B,
yes,
and then it will break.
Correct. Okay. So when it found the first break, it will stop the execution inside the switch. Okay. So if suppose if we skip this, so it will stop at this point. Okay. So both line will print. So A, hello, and B. Then B is also printing. Okay. So break is important, yeah, for this switch case. Okay, any other query in this? Anyone? Okay, so let's move to the another part. So this is switch case 4. After that, yeah, so this is also one thing. So we can write this switch case, and we can also write the nested conditional statement. Okay, nested means inside the if statement we can write the another if statement. Okay, so that is also possible. That is called as a nested if. So here in this example you can see we have mentioned the condition if here first, and inside the body of this if we are using another conditional statement. So that is possible. Okay, so you can use any number of nested things. So like inside the body of another here. So this body is actually a area of the code. So area of the code, that means you can write the any other loop or any another if else statement inside the body. Okay, so that is actually a the block of the code. Okay, so this things is actually called as a nested if else condition. So one inside another. Okay, so yeah, you can write the code in this way also. So okay, after that we have loop. So loop we have also discussed in the computing when the professor have discussed the computing some for some calculation. So loop is also very important for the programming concept. So many times we use this loop things. So this is the flow execution diagram for the loop. So first statement is actually a initialization. Okay, so we use some variable and we set as a counter, or we use some variable and we initialize that variable with some value. Okay, so this first is the statement is called as a initialization. Second statement is a condition. Okay, so inside the condition, and this initialization happen only one time. Okay, so this operation perform only one time in the loop. After that we check the condition, and if this condition is true, then we entered into the body of the loop. Okay, so this is actually a body of the loop. And we can also, yeah, this is a body of the loop, and we can write any number of statements here inside the body of the loop, and this statement will execute if the condition is true. That means we will enter inside the body of the loop and will start execution of the statements. After execution of the statements, that means body of the loop, then we will update the condition variable. Okay, so uh, inside this condition we will check some condition. Okay, so we will use some variable to check the condition. Okay, and then we will update that variable, and we will jump back to the condition again. Okay, so this is the update part. This is the update the conditional variable, and this is a condition. So this part will actually repeat again and again until this condition will become false. Okay, so this is the flow of the loop. Actually, we initialize some condition variable first, then we check the condition. If condition is true, we enter into the loop, and we update the conditional variable, and we again check the condition. If the condition is again true, then we will enter into the loop again, then we'll update the condition. So this is repeated again and again, and at the one point we will get this condition false. At that time we will come out to the loop. Okay, exit loop. So our condition should be update in this manner. So this conditional variable should be update in this manner. So at some after some points, it will our condition should become false. Otherwise, our loop will go into the infinite loop. If our this updation is not happening correctly, so our loop will run infinitely. Okay, and that is called as an infinite loop. Our program will not stop. So this is the things, and C provides one is the loop that is called as a for loop. Okay, so we have another loop also. So this is the first loop we call as a for loop, and inside the for loop we have this three value. Okay, so this is the syntax first. Okay, so syntax, just remember that we write for. Okay, after that we use the bracket, open bracket, close bracket, round bracket. Inside this we pass three value. Okay, so first value is called as a initialization, then this semicolon, and then condition, and semicolon, then third. This is the update area, increment or decrement something. Okay, so this 3 value are required, 1, 2 and 3. This part is actually execute only one time. So this is equivalent to the this step. Okay, so this first step initialization. If we are writing some value initialization like I equal to 0, so this will execute only one time and I will initialize by the 0 at the first time. After that, after this initialization, the second this condition will be checked. Okay, after this column, if this condition is true, then that control will enter into the loop body and the statement inside the loop body will execute. Okay, after that execution of the statement, our control will come at this step, update third. Okay, this update part, and our variable of the conditional statement will update in this part. Okay, in this statement, and again this condition will be checked. If this is true, then we'll enter into the loop. Okay, now this is the cycle which we have discussed earlier here. Okay, so inside the syntax we use this initialization in the first value as a first value condition, and this is the update value. So now you can see the example here for the for loop. Now this is a for loop. Okay, this is the for loop. We have used this for. After that, inside this we have declared the variable also. Okay, so this is the variable which is declared for this for loop only. Okay, so this is actually a local variable for the for loop, and we have initialized this. So you can see int I equal to 1. This will execute only one time. So that means we have set I equal to 1. After that we are checking this condition. So this is the condition. Okay, you can see conditional statement. This will return either true or false. So I is now 1. 1 is less than equal to 5. Yes, 2. So if this is true, our control will move and into the body. So this print statement will print the I value. So I will print 1. Okay. Now this update will happen. The third statement will execute. So this is a post increment. So here I will increment it by 1. So I will become 2. I equal to, this statement is look like a I equal to I plus 1. You can update like this, I equal to I plus 2, or in any way you can update this. Okay, so now this will become 2, and again this condition will be checked. I is now 2. 2 is less than equal to 5. Yes, correct. Then 2 will print. Okay, now again this I will increment by 1, so it will become 3. 3 is less than 5. Then again enter. Then 3 will print. Okay, then again 3 plus 1 4. 4 is less than 5. Yes, so 4 will print. Then again this will become 5. 5 is still less than equal to sign is also there. Okay, so equal to 5 is equal to 5. Yes, then again 5 will print. Now I will become 6. Now 6 is not less than equal to 5. So this is the terminate condition, and then our control will jump outside of this for loop. So this will be print inside the loop by this statement. Okay, so we can use the loop if you're writing some logic where you want to perform the same type of operation again and again. Okay, in the repetition manner. So you can use the loop. So like if you want to calculate the sum of all n number, first n number. Okay, so we have already seen the program in week 3. So calculate the sum of first n natural number. So you can also solve that problem using the loop. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You want to calculate the sum of all this for 1 to 6. So you can write a loop for this, and this is the program for this. Okay, you can see this example. So we have mentioned sum equal to 0, and we have set I equal to 1 initially. Okay, so I is now set to 1, and we want to calculate the sum of till first 10 number. Okay, so you can see we have mentioned the condition accordingly. I is less than equal to 10, and every time we will increment our I by 1. Okay, inside the body we are just adding the sum equal to sum plus I. So sum plus equal to I means sum equal to sum plus I. So in the previous sum we will add the value of I. So now our sum is initially 0. Now we will add this 1 in the one time, then our I will become 2, then plus 2 will add, then again we will enter into the loop, then plus 3 will add. In this way all value will be added. After that our loop will terminate and we will print our output. Okay, so this is the for loop, and you can use this loop according to your logic. If you need this type of situation in your logic, you can use this. Okay, so this is the syntax for this for loop. So you can also write like this situation here. In the previous example, we have started from the smaller value and incremented to the large value. But in this case, this is the reverse condition. So we are taking some large value and we have mentioned the condition accordingly. So I is greater than equal to 1. So this is the now condition. And every time we are decrementing the value. So this is also the same purpose code, but this is the reverse code. So I will 10 first, then it will become 9, then it will become 8, then 7, then till 1. Okay, so all value will be printed in this manner, in this order. So this is the reverse way to write the loop value. Okay, so we are decrementing now I value. So you can just set up your condition according to your problem or your logic. Okay, but sometimes just carefully avoid this. Like here we have set I equal to 5. Okay, and I is less than equal to 5, and here we are not updating our I value anywhere. Okay, so we have mentioned first statement, second statement, and third statement we have skipped. So this code will not give any error. Okay, because we can skip this condition and we can update our I value inside the body also. So you can also write I equal to I plus 1 inside the body to update this. Okay, so we can skip this also. But if we are not updating our I value, so now initially I is equal to set to 1 and print I will print 1. Now this is not updating. And this again we will check the condition, and the condition is 1 is less than equal to 5. Yes, correct. Then it will print again. Okay, now this 1 1 1 will print again and again, and there is no update is happening in this code. Okay, so this condition will never be break and loop will run infinitely. So just when you are writing the code, just make sure your condition or your initialization or your updation is happening correctly, and your code will stop. Okay, otherwise what happened in the exam, we have also saw that many times student when the write of the loop, so then code actually run infinitely and the portal actually shows some error like this, something went wrong, this type of error. Okay, and many students are actually not understand that what happening. So just make sure that if you're writing some logic of the code, just write the condition correctly when your code should be terminated. Okay, so this is the infinite condition in the loop. The another syntax we have while loop. So yes,
One.
your voice is great. Yeah, Ahmad, go ahead.
So, yeah, I wanted to ask about the statement where we are incrementing the conditional variable. So there we are writing I plus plus, right? I think it's a standalone piece on its own. So plus plus I or I plus plus in that case would be the same thing, right? They
Yes,
would
same
not make
thing.
any
Here
difference.
it will not affect anything. So you can also write plus plus I. So this is single statement. It will execute. Okay, so I will update actually. It will not affect another thing.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so let's move to the next loop statement. So C provides the another way of the loop. This is actually while loop. Okay, so for loop is basically if you know the terminate condition. So that means if you know initially that how many iteration you want to execute. Okay, and if you know that situation, then so you can use for loop. So while loop, you can also do the same things with the help of while loop, which you are doing from the for loop. Same things you can use for loop, and you can alternate the same things by the while loop. But sometimes while loop is actually beneficial when you don't know how many iteration will perform at the running time. Okay, so while loop is actually, suppose if you are reading the input from the program, okay, and you don't know how many inputs are coming. Okay, you don't know how many inputs are coming, and you are continuously receive the input. Suppose if you are reading the input and where some value are coming in the output. Okay, so and you are adding all the value, so you are getting 10 20 30 40 like, and you are adding all the input value when you are receiving all these values. So 10, and you are getting 10, you are adding into the sum equal to 10, 0 plus 10, and after that you are reading the another next value 20 is coming, then you are adding 20 in the input. Okay, so in this way any number of inputs are coming and you are adding all the value into your some variable. So but you don't know how many inputs will come. In that situation, you cannot set any that loop counter for that. Okay, so at that type of situation, when you don't know how many times that iteration will perform, in that case we generally use the while loop. Okay, and so this while loop is basically is the very similar to the for loop. The flow diagram is actually very similar. So conditional statement we have. Okay, and inside the conditional statement we initialize some things, like we are setting some I value equal to 0. That initializes the happen before the conditional statement, and we check the condition, and after that if the condition is true, we enter into the body of the while loop and we perform the statement. And inside the statement actually we update the variable, conditional variable. Okay, so same things we are following here. So we are checking the condition inside the while loop and performing the statement, and we also update our conditional variable inside the statement, and then again repeat the same things. Okay, so then again we check the condition and same repeat the things. If any time this condition is false, then we will go out the loop actually. Okay, so this conditional variable should be updated correctly here also. Okay, otherwise we will enter into the loop. Okay, so same things, you can see the syntax is actually very easy, while, and then we write inside the bracket condition. Okay, so the conditional statement, and this is the body. If this condition is true, we will enter into the body, and then we will execute some statement, and we will also update the conditional variable. So this conditional should be terminate after some iteration. Okay, so that is actually a syntax of the while loop. So you can see now same things, to printing the number from 1 to 5 we are performing using the while loop. So this is the initialization part. You can see we are performing this initialization outside of the while before this. Okay, so int I equal to 1. Now we are using this condition statement, we are performing print statement, and inside this we are performing this increment. Okay, so same things similar to this for loop syntax, we are performing all these things in the different way. Now this will also print 1 2 3 4 5. After that it will I will become 6, and 6 is not less than 5, so condition will be break, and in this case loop, this while will terminate. Okay, same things we are can be perform sum of numbers. Okay, so sum of like now you can see this example here. We are reading the input. Okay, so print enter number 0 to stop. Now this is the condition, some condition is given. We are reading the input from the console. Okay, this is scanf, and we are adding into the sum. Okay, so first things we are reading the input for number first, and then we are checking if number does not equal to 0. So this is some specific condition, this we have mentioned here, number does not equal to 0, and we are performing addition and we are reading the input. So we don't know when we will get the 0 for the number. Okay, and this loop will run again and again till our this condition is not, this is not satisfied actually. Okay, this will become satisfied, we can say. Okay, if our number is not equal to 0, we will enter into the loop. At any point, if we input we provide the input 0, then this condition will become false and this loop will terminate. Okay, so we cannot predefine the iteration for this type of condition situation. Okay, so here we will pass any number of input to the program, and this program will actually return the sum of that number of inputs. Okay, and we can stop the input by entering the 0. So like this type of situation we can use the while loop, and same things, avoid this infinite loop condition. So here you can also, in the conditional statement, if you pass any value other than 0, suppose if you pass 5 here, while 5, so that is actually represent as a true. Okay, if you are passing while 0, so that will be considered as a false. If any value other than 0, that will consider as a true. So while 1, so here this we are passing 1, and we are not changing or we are not mentioning any terminate condition for this, and we have mentioned, we have write this code. So what will happen, this statement will execute infinite number of times. Okay, so because this 1 will remain same for the each iteration, and this is considered as a true. We will enter into the loop, and then again same things will repeat again and again, and we will run infinite loop. Okay, so this update is required. So what happens sometime, so for the like this previous code, if suppose we are writing the code and we miss this statement, and we are executing the code, so this will also enter into the infinite loop, because this I is not changing. I will remain 1, and this loop will run again and again. Okay, so just remember this. If you are writing the while loop, make sure the conditions should be correct, updation should be happen inside this, and this updation should be happen in that way. After some iteration, this conditions should be break. Condition should become false. Okay, so this is while loop, this simple while loop. And another version of while loop we have do while loop. Okay, so do while loop is what happen actually in this do while loop. At least one time, yes.
Sir,
Mhm.
so now we have math class at 8 o'clock.
Okay. So this is the last point. I think nothing is there. So nested loop. So you can go to the math class. Okay. Okay. So this is just a last statement. Actually, main things for the. Okay. So while is just a loop. So at least one time we will execute the statement, and then we will check the condition. Okay, if you can see, we will execute the body first. This body will come under the do, and then we will check the condition. If condition is true, then we will again perform the body, and then we will check the condition. Okay, so here we are writing the body first, and then condition after that. So at least one time this body will execute by the code. So this is the syntax. You can see do. Okay, and after this is the body, this is the code, and then we will check the while condition. Okay, so this do will execute at least one time. Doesn't matter what is the condition is satisfied or not. Okay, so this is the example here. You can see, so inside this you can see we are writing do first. So this statement will execute first. After that we are checking I condition. Okay, so now if this condition is true, then we will enter again to the do. So this is the now iteration. So this is the another way of the do while loop. So you can use this also for your purpose. So these are the main things of the week 4: conditional statement and loop. So these are the different types of loops and conditional statement we have discussed. Nested loop is the same way. We can also write the for loop inside the another for loop. Okay, so that is called as a nested loop. You can see here. So inside the first for loop, we have mentioned another loop. So for every value of I, this loop will execute first completely. Okay, then another value I will increment like this. Okay, so that we will discuss in the next live session during the practice questions. Or okay, so maybe you know that we have also started the TA live session on Wednesday or Sunday, so also join that, so to practice with the programming question. Okay, any question in this? I think already 8 is there now. I can close if there is no query.
Request if you could.
Yes.
I noticed on the YouTube channel not all the sessions have been uploaded. Is it possible to communicate with the team and the session that everyone has taken? Could they upload under the dates that they have taken the session?
No, if you have the portal, you can see my portal screen.
Yes.
Okay, inside the live session tab. Okay.
Yes.
Live. Just click on this live session detail, and inside this, just use this last seat. Okay, current term live session seat. Okay, I think
I
last.
understand that. Okay.
So
I was just talking about the thing getting updated.
So that actually this seat we are maintaining. So I think last Friday session is not updated on the YouTube. That is actually recorded. So we have not uploaded yet, but you can see the drive link for that Friday session. Otherwise, that TA session will actually not live streamed on the YouTube. That will only record it. So you can see the recording in the drive. So all YouTube link and drive link is there in this seat.
Okay, this I hadn't seen. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so just refer to this sheet.
Yeah, I hadn't seen this. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, if there is no query, then we can close the session. Yeah, thanks everyone. Bye.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, is this PDF available for us?
Okay. Yeah, that I'll upload